I want to talk about in this video is the concept of self-love and preventing yourself from getting sucked in to the distorted teachings, I think, that have been pretty widespread in terms of this concept of living a humble life, kind of the aspect of martyrdom, and that there's this eventuality of heaven as some sort of a reward at the end of this life. I'm not saying that the transition from this life to the next won't possibly come with some wonderful things on the other side. Don't get me wrong, but I think if and when we buy into this idea that we should live a humble, meager, boring, horrible, miserable existence because this is in service of a higher power or in service of God, we are absolutely missing the mark, and we have somehow had the teaching, or we have somehow misinterpreted the teaching of ascension, of higher vibrational thinking, of union with the divine completely wrong. There is absolutely nothing wrong with enjoying and loving every moment of your existence. In fact, that is exactly what you are here to do. You are here to be a happy individual. You are here to be a happy parent, a joyous husband or wife, somebody that is in love with life, a happy participant in a family dynamic. Whether you are an uncle, an aunt, a child, a grandparent, you are supposed to be living your best life. And this is the highest calibration of existence that you can emanate. God does not want you to be miserable. God does not want you to martyr your life and basically live in patience, waiting for some sort of reward at the end of the rainbow. That's not the purpose of your life. You are here to shine the light and the gifts and the love that is the essential part of what you were created for, and the light that you were created from in the now moment. Now, there are going to be lessons. There are going to be bumps in the road. There are going to be obstacles. And each and every one of those things are opportunities for you to build your character, to build your resilience, to build your compassion. Something that really dawned on me today, because I made a video earlier before I went out on the ocean, and I was talking about magnetism and the street. There were certain things that, the odd thing would be, brought up in my consciousness and really kind of almost irritate me, whether it was a sound or, a person who I didn't feel was maybe acting in their highest vibration. And what kept coming back to me, that voice inside of me kept saying to me over and over, is every irritation is an opportunity for compassion. Every irritation, every fluctuation in your daily unfoldment of what's happening for you is the opportunity to act in your highest good. It's practice. It's practice that makes perfect. So if somebody is bothering you, if somebody is annoying you, understanding and looking at the situation from the vantage point of compassion, looking at it as if, or looking at it through childlike eyes. When another individual is acting in a way that is lower vibrational, if we can understand that in that moment they are out of alignment, and if we can instantly fall into the seat of our own understanding and face them or face the instance with tremendous amounts of compassion, what we do is free ourselves from the energetic vortex of that diminishing energy paradigm. So again, it's not easy to do, because you can be standing in a line and there can be somebody that is sort of swearing or getting frustrated, or you can become impatient. There can be a million things. Something doesn't go your way. I know I got denied for a flight this week, and in the moment there was an element of frustration, but I just sort of sat back and went into a zone of compassion, and the whole episode, the whole entire unfoldment of that particular incident or obstacle didn't bother me in the least, because I really fell into this zone of expansion. Just let go, live and let go. You can't do anything by being frustrated and irritated. That's not going to change the outcome of the situation. So if putting your vibrational calibration into a tailspin is not going to change the outcome of what's going to happen, then why burden yourself? Why make yourself miserable if you are the only one who is experiencing the misery? I mean, as a byproduct, if you are frustrated, if you're bitter, if you're negative, you may have that energetic outpouring that will spill over to others. But nobody is going to carry that burden as much as you are. So when that negative energy sort of embeds itself, seeds itself within you, it is amplified within your field, and it becomes, sort of a quicksand pulling you down momentum. And it's harder and harder to get out of that mood or that vibration if you feed into it. So this is really, the miracle of amplification. What you are sending out is multiplied. It's multiplied, it's amplified. And if what you are emitting is happiness, is positivity, if you are creating your own heaven on earth, that energy is only going to get better and better and better for you, beyond your wildest expectations. And so you can become expectant of amazing transformations when you hold a really high vibrational outlook for yourself. So don't fall into the distortion that you have to be miserable to get the good stuff. That's completely backwards. Being miserable makes getting to the good stuff take a lot longer. So utilize what you are and what you have and what you know and the gifts that are you to become as happy and as fulfilled and mesmerized by life, joyful for life in each and every way that you possibly can, as quickly as you can. And that is really what will make your life magical. It's that simple. And I feel incredibly sad for people that have been taught the lie that there's some sort of reward for misery, that God sees you in your misery and will one day reward you for all of your sacrifices. Sometimes we do have to sacrifice, but not in the way that it's been distortedly presented to us. Sometimes we have to choose from the option list, okay? I think that's the easiest way to put it. And through the energy of discernment, we know that we may forego instant pleasure, which is temporal, which is temporary, for long-term self-sustaining bliss. And this is part of wisdom and maturity, that we understand, part of this ebb and flow of discernment. So there is an element of sacrifice, but I think sacrifice is the wrong word. It is truly an element of right choosing, right choice. And as we augment our own mental capacity into this energy of wisdom, we start to realize that responsible choices yield beautiful results. And the immediacy of fleeting gratification that has, negative consequences that are also usually quite immediate isn't going to benefit us. Some examples of this. Okay, so you get off work on Friday night and you want to hang out with your friends, and they're going to party, they're going to drink, they may be doing substances, whatever it is. There may be a small amount of immediate gratification in that. So you have to make a choice. You're choosing. And this may feel sacrificial, to some elements of your ego. And you might choose to stay home, clean your house, have a workout, and have a good meal, watch a movie. The outcome of those choices, the next day, the weekend, you're going to be doing something that you really love. Maybe you're going snowboarding, maybe you're going to go fishing, maybe you're going to see some friends. The other individuals in your life that chose that instant gratification are going to have a hangover, and they're going to waste the rest of their weekend. They're not going to clean their house. They're not going to get their studies done, whatever it is. And so sacrifice in some instances is divine wisdom. Sacrifice in terms of sacrificing your own happiness over and over and over is not aligned with your purpose. Women especially have this idea, women and people that, are parents, are running a family. They have this idea that it is their responsibility to sacrifice their happiness so that the unit will work, the family unit will work, or the husband will be happy, or the children will be happy, but it's at the expense or the sacrifice of that individual's happiness. Not a good idea, because you are teaching that same principle and embedding it into the programming of your children. You're also demonstrating to your spouse that you do not respect and have self-worth, and over time that message becomes habitual. So part of self-love, part of creating that balanced, beautiful life for yourself, you have to understand that sacrifice and choices and the discernment of what is in service of your highest good is often also in service of the highest good for others. Most of the time, the highest good for you, the highest good for your spouse, the highest good for your family are all going to be equally aligned. And that's not a coincidence. That's because there's balance. And in divine love, in divine union, in the peace that is our birthright, all of those things are in alignment. So again, it's, the sun is setting here. It is so beautiful. I'm looking out at the ocean this evening, and just completely grateful. Beautiful day in every aspect. We saw dolphins. We saw a beautiful shark in the water. The dolphins were jumping around the boat. Just an incredible day. We saw whales. So just want to impart this message to you. Don't self-sacrifice. Don't think that your happiness is, in some future destination 2 years down the road. Don't burn yourself out for this idea of martyrdom. Do everything that you possibly can to magnetize and create that vibration of happiness in the now moment. That is the most powerful thing that you can do for yourself. Okay, have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you in the next video.